Okay, here's our kid to help us demonstrate the Carrier e-bike seat here. And I have no idea who this kid is, by the way. I just met her today. Hey guys, what's up? My name's Brandon and welcome to the TST Carrier e-bike review. We got a lot to go over in this video, so get ready for an awesome video. If you're a mom or a dad and you have kids, this bike is for you. Or if you're just a regular guy or girl that wants to carry your friends around on the beach, this bike's for you too. So let's get right into the video, guys. So as I said, guys, this bike is a Carrier. That's the name of the bike, TST Carrier, and it's a 2-passenger seater back here. So you got your one seat up here and you got a 2-seater back here, and you have this cage in the rear which is designed as a child seat. So this bike pairs very well with children. Now the cage, you can actually take it off and you still pretty much have a 2-seater back here that could probably carry 2 small to medium sized adults or teenagers. So you could fit a couple teenagers back here plus the main rider on the front. This bike, I would say it's durable and versatile to do a lot of different things as opposed to just carrying a couple toddlers and very young children. So let's get into the Carrier portion because that is the highlight of this e-bike, and then we'll move on to the rest. We're gonna take a child back here and test drive it. We're gonna go around, do a durability test. I'm gonna put a GoPro chest mount on so I can have hands-free and take you guys on a different point of view. So let's get right into that part. All right, so here is the Carrier section. You have this rounded frame down here. You have a long peg platform area so you can put your feet. That's big enough to put 2 foots right there. You actually have another rounded frame design right here for this whole seat area, which is basically one unit right here, which is a big heavy duty seat. Then you have your bench banana seat up here and then your cage up here. And here, if I remove this strap, you can get a look at the model of this bike, which is the Carrier. And you can view all these at tstebike.com. This bike is super sweet. Check out that chain, guys. We'll go more over that. You could also see how they engineered another little sprocket there to accommodate this cool kickstand, which is just like a motorcycle kickstand. But here's a close-up of the framework. Check out how that frame goes, guys. You have your down tube there, and then you have all this stuff that goes into this rounded frame and then comes back up here. And then you have it opposite, which is a rounded frame for the seat that elevates the bench a little higher. Check out the rear of this bike, and we'll go over to the shade in a minute so we can get another perspective in different lighting. You can see this cage is very well made. I'd say it's a custom cage. It's unique just for this model. This cage is valued at close to $500 with the pad, the frame, the cage, all of that. It's actually a really good value that they throw this cage in and seat in as the same price as just a regular bike that isn't a Carrier, because this price point is going for the same range as you would get for a regular e-bike, and everybody knows that Carriers are usually a lot more expensive. So here's a little more overview of how cool this thing looks, and check out this design. The cage back here is actually the same width as the handlebar, so it's not much, it's a little more narrow. So if you're going through a narrow area, if your handlebars can fit, your cage is going to fit. But check out how they did this. They put a little cage inside the cage for the little children's hands. So your children, say their hand is out here and you nick a wall, Maybe it could hurt them if their hand is there. It's highly unlikely. Most likely the wall is going to hit the corner. But what I would do is tell your children to always keep their hands on the inside. So that's very well thought of. Also, what is accommodating for this whole carrier system is this little motorcycle kickstand. And I'll show you how that works in a minute when we actually put the children inside the basket area, because it's just very stable, so you can be loading and unloading, which is really cool. And check out this little light, guys. It's very, very powerful, but it's super small and sleek. I like that. With e-bikes, you either got this giant light or you have something like this. This is pretty cool. And I see they kind of went with a unique handlebar. I think it goes well with this whole design. I like it. But overall, we're gonna go through the framework and all of the little accessories piece by piece. So let me make sure that I've finished with this back area, and then we'll move on section by section to the front, and then we'll move on to the next segment of the video, which we have our rider right over there hanging out. She's gonna help demonstrate the bike in a little bit, so that's gonna be a really cool part of the video. But let's get on to this part of the bike. So one cool thing to note is this is all caged in. So this is little flaps. They're removable, and they're strapped on with these little cool Velcro straps. And you have one here, and then you have another little backing plate right here. So your riders are very safe. There's nothing going in and out. Their little legs and hands aren't going to go in there. It's pretty well thought of in that respect. You have a reflector light here on the back. You also have a backrest right here. You have a handle right here, and you also have a handle right there. And I'm going to demonstrate how this handle corresponds with this kickstand. You basically hold the handle while you do the kickstand, because you need to lift up on the bike a little bit so you don't put so much pressure on that kickstand when you're putting it on and off. On this side, you can see the brake caliber is showing a little bit, but they have engineered the perfect backing plate to still hide everything, protect it, secure that area so nothing can get in or out of it. And you can note these are 20-inch tires by 4-inch. And they are on a mag wheel. A mag wheel is just kind of like a iron casting with like a rim style. Instead of just your basic spokes, you have a mag wheel, like a custom rim. As we're back here, I will show you that this chain has been brought up through this little spindle here. So this kickstand can operate freely, go up and down, and it won't interfere with this chain, which is pretty cool that they thought of that. You have your e-bike motor inside here, and while we're talking about the e-bike motor, let me go over the specifications. While you guys are checking out this awesome bike, I'm going to go over some of the e-bike specifications. Number one, it's a 1300 watt motor back there, so that's a pretty heavy duty electric motor. Second, this battery gets you 60-mile range, so that's considered a long-range battery. A lot of the smaller batteries go like 30 or 40, so you got a 60-mile range on this, and it's a 48-volt, 15-amp-hour battery. The bike is set to be able to carry 450 pounds, so that's a lot of riders. 200 pounds up front, 200 pounds in the back, 450 pound capacity. All right, guys, so the frame is made out of aluminum, and a lot of the things are aluminum on this bike. The seat post is aluminum. It's a very lightweight, durable, high-end material. It's non-corrosive. You also have metal pedals. These are not the cheapy pedals, and your battery is inside here. And let me show you how to get the battery out. So you would take your key, let's say you lock it up at the gym or something, you would take your key and you would take this battery out. You could take the battery inside to the locker room, And that way your battery's not there, because this is one of the most expensive things on the bike, along with the motor in the back. So that key is pretty important. Also, you want to get a big kryptonite lock and lock this in. And while we're right here, check out this logo. I love that logo right here, the TST logo. It looks really, really cool. Here is your charging port as well. This is where you're gonna plug in the charger. Check out this chain. It's like an aluminum stainless steel chain, which looks pretty cool as your average, you know, black chains. Got a little bit of flair with that. You have a 7-speed Shimano gear shifter in the back. So you got your rails and your sprocket system in the back, and you have your gear shifter up here, which is a paddle shifter. You have your little monitor there, and then you hit the paddle, that goes down, and then this one back here shifts it back up. I always keep them in gear 7. That's basically the most difficult pedal. That's hard gear. All right, guys, so now we're in the shade. Sometimes it's a little bright in the sunlight, even though it's optimal to do your filming in the sunlight. Sometimes there's a little bit of overexposure and the contrast isn't there as well. So we're gonna put this in the shade. All right, so this portion of the video, let me demonstrate how the kickstand operates. So there's a little handle here, there's a little foot peg here, and you just kind of pull up on the seat, you pull it up and back, and it just kicks it right in. We'll do that one more time. So right there, you saw me just roll it forward. Now I'm gonna put my hand right back on that little lever back there, and then there's a little lever here where your foot hits, and then you just pull up and back, and you're on. And then to roll it down, guys, you just kind of push it forward, and it's pretty much just like a motorcycle kickstand. All right, so we're almost to the action part of the video. Gonna get the GoPro and actually ride this thing, but first let's do a little 360 on the bike in this new light. And then after that, let me just finish up some of the features that I wanted to share with you guys. But just get a look at the mag wheels, into the suspension forks, into this big thick down tube, goes like that, then back up for the post, for the seat post, and then you could see that rounded frame in the back, which adds in support. So when you have that construction of the round and then the bars that go down, that's how you're able to carry so much weight back here. You see how that's designed? You have your pillars here, and then this rounded joint is able to hold a lot of weight, and then same for that design. And these are like heavy duty. This is like something you would see on an actual motorcycle. This thing's a really, really nice bike. A bike like this in a bike shop, you'd probably be close to 4,000, maybe a little less. Maybe you could get it down to closer to 3, but you're not gonna get it for the $1,000 and $99 price point, which this one's going for. And then if you use my discount code, you actually save more money on it. So this thing's going for $10.99. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. This design back here is actually a utilitarian design also. It's not just meant to ride riders. You can actually put a platform out here. You can turn this into a big giant basket, and you can kind of like take this on trips to actually carry cargo. So this is a carrier cargo bike. It's a special genre of bikes. So that's real cool that that's what this can do, which is a cargo bike or a carrier bike. So if you guys want to maybe put a bunch of stuff out here and go camping with it, you can do that. Okay, so last little bit of information before we go on the ride. You have your quick release for the seat post right here. You have your gooseneck right here. which is a pretty heavy duty gooseneck, but still sleek. Here are your little grips. They kind of have this little nubby texture on it. And I mean, yeah, they grip. You can grip those real good. You're not gonna be slipping off that. One special, unique thing to note on this bike, if any of you guys have ever ridden an ATC or an ATV, a four-wheeler or a three-wheeler, then you know about this throttle. Look at this throttle, guys. You put your hand here and then you throttle it down. That is cool. Almost 99% of e-bikes just have a basic hand throttle there, but they got like an ATC design, which makes this thing super unique. And if you guys know about those three-wheelers or four-wheelers, you ever gunned it with one of these little things, they're super cool. So it'll bring you back with that throttle. So I appreciate all throttles. I appreciate these throttles and I appreciate these. So I'm not mad at all that they put something like that on there. Also, check out this LCD screen. It's color. It has blue and white and some other colors in there. So we'll go more over that later, but you have your on button, you have your headlight, you have your negative and your positive. Negative downshifts, positive upshifts. You got 5 gears, 5 electronic motor gears from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll go over that later when I show you guys how to do the gears and how the sensors work and all that. The last thing is, this is a fluid hydraulic brake. So when you brake, you can feel the fluid in there. It's a more of a fluid motion. It helps with the pistons in the caliber to grip this better, and it helps with stopping power. So when you have 450 pounds capacity, you need really heavy duty stopping power. There's a huge notable difference on hydraulic brakes. It even says somewhere over here something about oil in. You can see there's oil inside the system. When you hit it, it's just like a real fluid, soft, powerful motion. It just feels really good. So there's 4 pistons in the brakes that power the brake pads and just really grip that disc there really good for your stopping power. I'll turn on the light for you. There's your light. Big, bright LED light. Okay, here's our kid to help us demonstrate the carrier e-bike seat here. And I have no idea who this kid is, by the way. I just met her today. Just kidding, it's my daughter. She's almost 4 years old, will be 4 next month. And she's a perfect example to demonstrate this seat, aren't you? All right, guys, I will give you a demonstration a couple more times. Look at how...
the dog.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice doggy. I'll show you guys how nice they go in these seats, and you could put them all the way to the back so they can have a backrest, or they can sit where they want, but they can sit back here and lean back or slide up and hold on to here.
Right here, and right here.
Yeah, you could hold in there, and then you could put your hands inside. Look, put your hands on the inside one. There you go. That'll protect your hands. And wow, look at your feet are on the pegs here perfectly. Cool, Haley. Do you want to say hi to YouTube?
Hello, too.
So cute. Okay, guys, so you can see how the dual kickstand here is protecting everything and keeping the bike stable. So it's not leaning to one side, it's just kind of stable right in the middle. How does that feel, Haley?
Good.
You want to go for a ride now?
I want to go in the park. My legs are big.
Yeah, you can reach the bottom. Before we get going, I just realized we got to put this clip back. Can you put your feet back for a little bit?
Yeah.
And then this is pretty easy to slide back in here. How do you like to sit? Which way?
That way more.
You like to sit there in the front? All right, guys, so I always do this. Before I do the hands-free, I do a little ride flyby, so you guys see what it looks like with both riders on. Got to do a flyby. Can't just do all hands free. And this thing maneuvers pretty easy with all of us on here. I'm gonna gain some speed and do an aggressive stop with a rider in the back. Pretty good stoppage. She doesn't complain at all. And I'll show you guys how good that cage is in the back. They don't move an inch. Okay guys, let's show you how it stops here. Stops real good, rider's safe, stops on a dime. So I'll accelerate to 20 miles an hour and then do a little stop test. Very, stops on a dime. Okay, here we go, guys. Here's the kickstand. You got the rider there. Put the kickstand down. While the rider's on top, put the kickstand down and lift on this thing. And that's how it stops right there. So as you guys can note here, I'm just going to roll it forward and it goes off the kickstand. And this is a step-through bike, which is really efficient. You just step through. You don't have to hike your leg over any bar. You just step on through like that, and you're basically ready to go. And I'll just show you guys how to corner this, and then we'll go on the GoPro. So look how easy it is to corner. You can see how I'm riding in a circle here, and I'm able to hit the corners pretty easy with the child on the back. So
I'm not a child, I'm a kid.
Oh, you're a kid? Okay. All right, well, there is the TST carrier flyby portion of this e-bike review. Hope you guys are enjoying the e-bike review so far. If you are, just give the video a like. It's the best way to support my content, guys, and I appreciate you for watching. Oh yeah, subscribe to the channel. Say it again.
Subscribe channel.
So cute. So that's it, guys. Last vantage point of the carrier. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, it hops curbs pretty easy, just like that. It goes off curbs pretty easy. Hefty duty bike. Hefty duty, is that a word? Or is it heavy duty? Hefty duty is my new word there. I guess she's getting a little cranky because we're doing these durability stuff. But yeah, honestly, she's such a good kid. She never complains. She's just making a scene. She wants to go play. I'm gonna take her to the park after this. You playing down there? I'll get you. Give me a hand. Up. All right, hands free. All right, Daddy will drive good, okay? I promise.
No.
She was a little worried that I was doing those stop tests with her on the back, but she knows. She's been riding e-bikes for a couple years now, so you're ready to go. All right, let's up here, put that down. Okay, where do you want to go? Want to go to the park? All right, guys, so we are, like as I showed you earlier, I'm just going to step on through like that. And then go ahead and put your hands right here in there, sweetheart. There you go. And then you can sit right there. And if you want to move back, because Daddy's backpack might kind of touch you a little bit. So we're going to do a long press here on that. And then I'm going to do positive all the way to gear 5. And then hit the throttle there. And we are off. And that'll take you to 20 miles an hour right away. And right now I'm going 22 actually, with just throttle only. And we're just gonna cut around. We're gonna go onto all terrain. We're gonna go up, down, left, right, through grass, through dirt, and test this e-bike out. Right now we are at Mile Square Park in Orange County, California. One of my favorite places to review e-bikes. Well, actually, yeah, it's a favorite place, but I like doing them at the beach. But it's so peaceful here at this park. So, like, this is a all-terrain bike, so you can go through grass and dirt, and you know, it doesn't have to just be on the street like a road bike. So you want to go to that park? Well, I could take you riding to look at the park. We can go look at the park, but I want to take you to another park, a better park. So guys, one thing about e-bikes is you just get to go anywhere with them. It's a very cool adventure type thing that you can just go on a journey and kind of go see sights that you've never seen before. You know, you don't have to park a car or walk anywhere. You can just cut through alleys and streets and curbs and, you know, just go explore your city. Honestly, the best investment I've ever made really was getting my first e-bike, because from there I started riding bikes every weekend, once a week. I was riding bikes. Before that, I wasn't doing any of that. Now I'm outdoors all the time on the e-bike. So guys, when you first get on an e-bike, you're probably gonna wanna start off a little slow. You can put it in first gear and see how you like it. Get used to these big e-bikes, because these bikes have like motorcycle tires. They're like very thick. They're called fat tires. And it's just a little awkward at first. And they're heavy bikes. The bikes are more than 70 pounds. You know, the e-bike battery is heavy, and all the framework and stuff. So they're just kind of beefy, and you got to get used to how they feel. But after that, you could pretty much always max out the gears, which I always am going like 15, 20 miles an hour. But just to show you, right now I'm in gear 1. So we'll go from gear 1 to a stop. And the way it works is there's a sensor somewhere in the crankshaft or in the rear motor that senses that you're putting pressure on the crankshaft. So as I'm pedaling and it senses the rotation, it engages the motor. All right guys, let me show you how the gears work with throttle only. So I'm going to put it in gear 1 and do throttle. Okay, we're going 9 miles an hour, gear 1. Okay, here's gear 2. We are throttled to the max, going 11 miles an hour. Here's gear 3, throttle to the max. We are going 14 miles an hour. Gear 4, throttle to the max. We're going 18. Okay, now I'm going to put gear 5. And now we are going 21. I like how they have it set to 21. I like that. a little faster than it kind of gets up and goes to 21 and then levels out. But they have this bike in a special classification. This bike will go 28 miles easy with the pedal assist. So plenty of power. Okay guys, so I know a lot of you are tuning into this video just to hear what the stats are on this bike. And I'm here to tell you that a 1300 watt motor is plenty for this bike. And the battery getting 60 miles is also plenty. It also has a 20 mile an hour capability for the throttle only. I'm not sure if you guys could see the LCD screen here, but I was dang close to the 28 on the pedal assist, and I stopped pedaling right before I hit the 28. So guys, my overall review on this e-bike is it pretty much checks all the boxes for me. It's heavy duty enough for me. All the components seem like a lot of the standard stuff on the other e-bikes. They have to make these heavy duty since they're going a lot faster than other bikes. They just need to be durable because they have more weight, so things need to last. That's why I was explaining with the brake pistons and how the brakes are heavy duty, because these are heavy bikes. So that kind of falls in line with everything else on the bike. Everything else is pretty durable. It's not like back in the day you get a cheap Huffy and it's like things are breaking on it. So overall, I think this is a good value for you guys. I think for me, this is going to be my #1 choice to take Haley on rides now. I've compared it to all of my other e-bikes that I take her on rides with, and this one is just a lot safer. So I feel like I need to give her the most security and the most protection that I can. So if I'm going to be doing these recreational bike rides, I'm going to have to put her in the safest bike that I own. And that's where the carrier comes into play. So you guys, if you're a mom or dad or young person that just wants to ride their buddies around, this whole cage thing comes off really easy. This is what you're paying for. The weight is what you're paying for. So don't worry about this whole thing if you're not going to use it. All right guys, that's my comprehensive e-bike review on the TST carrier. Go show TST some love. They have an Instagram page. Give them a follow. Check out all their products. Go on their website. Everything's going to be in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you watched it all the way to the end, thank you so much. You guys are the best. Stay tuned for more e-bike reviews coming up very soon, guys. And until the next video, take care, guys.